So.
Let's get ready to...
Damn right, Far, welcome in, welcome in. Papa Shades, thank you for the rumble. Welcome in, sir. Music requests are open, so you know what, folks, doesn't matter what kind of song it is, whatever we want, if you vibe with it, rock with it. Mm-hmm. All right. Do that. Products. 36. Go. Ba-da-da. Reaper, how are we doing, sir? Now, I don't remember half the stuff he said, so you can talk me through bits and pieces. I'm not going to do it in one go, but I will give it a go, sir. Congratulations on that sub hour. I know it doesn't feel the same as like doing it before when sub hour was the challenge. It almost seems like it was I know you said it was like almost quite free for yourself. So congrats, you smashed it, mate. Onwards and upwards. Can we get a shout out for Ian, if possible? I've got a mod that's available. Much obliged if you can. So don't fight cops. Wow, that's good money. 6th Street start, you'll be close enough to grab this. 6th Street? What the fuck's 6th Street? You're saying like I know places? I haven't looked at any of the runs in that as well, by the way, so I still don't have, only general idea I have is that we use some kidding, graffiti stuff. If needed, I'll send you the video since it's unlisted till official time. That's all good. It's all good. Like I said, I'll do a Gordo thing. You know, we'll send some, and if it works, it works. If we do that then. If set when you start the sink to fill the water closely. Oh, so the time doesn't start from... Okay. Interesting to know. Did not know that. Can we do thing? So we sell everything and then we beat the person up to rob them and get the stuff back, right? Is that generally how it works now? Okay. The two batches that we do, are they just PGR or what? Just out of curiosity. Fertilizer, do we go for the good shit? So all for max and then best. So when you say max, what, where it says 100% and you offer them as much as possible? Just base plan, okay. If you have 40, sell 40 for as high as they will pay. Okay, fair. Gonna have to get rid of those 4. Kind of sucks. Shouldn't. You don't renegotiate the phone ones on day 1. Okay. I mean, I've not. I've just kind of let them do their thing. I've just said yes to those. That's fine. Day 2 turn off phone app and self deal? Really? Apparently they can deny the max sell on phone and lose sell immediately. Oh, okay. The logic checks out. The logic checks out. This is going to be a weird one then. Now do I beat her up? Can't get to her. I'm trying. I'm trying, mate. I feel like a scumbag right now. So do you even move to... I mean, except for buying the Chinese, do you even move to the Chinese then? If this is the game plan? Hey, Dim. So you just buy it and that's it? Okay. And when I do these day one face-to-face deals, I guess I just beat them up for it once they've taken the stuff. Spray paint. Remember to update the quantity on the quantity to bypass the availability to sprays the paint. Huh? Quantity of who, the what's, and the where? Okay. Oh, okay, okay. Now I get you. Wow. I mean, this just puts Sancho out of a job. This is just... I don't know. I don't know. Just buy 30 and then it will show sold. But, yeah. So it's 30 cans all I need then? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying, my good sir? Sure. Yeah, I'm not fussed about world record, mate. You can have that one. I have no interest in sweating for that. And you're telling me these two plants are the only ones we grow? That's it. Okay, yeah, no, I get that. I get that. Do I have to move something into... Oh, I guess I just wait for that to finish, don't I? So, do I want to be sleeping as quick as possible, or do I just want to be just going for it? And do I need Westville unlocked to... Alright, let's have a look. System here. Couldn't help myself. It's just become a habit now. Okay, folks, as Westville and early sleep to increase cells since depending on cooldown you get 1 to 2 per day. Okay. Boo. That's my own fault. I should have just put it 100%. 2 secs. I think that was... Okay. What else I got to sell to? What? I didn't see you over there. So where the fudge are you? Oh, never mind. I'm not going to walk around in circles for no reason. I lost 2 of my product. Oh, from samples. Spread them. I guess we sleep soon. What else we got to get? Just the one that I can't see. That's supposed to be around here, but I feel like it's back at their thing. Alright, I'm just gonna try and get that. And then we'll... thingy, sleep. Nope. Yeah, basically. Sancho, you're out of a job, mate. I mean, I still don't think there's much harm in having more, because if there's more of us, we just bulk make a load. We all have about 20 apiece and do the thing, but... yeah, I don't know. Seems a bit crazy, right? There you go, that's all our harvesting done then, I guess. And then we go spray paint everything. Sancho's out of a job, Alan's out of a job. So realistically, isn't it just gonna be a case of that 2 people's enough then? Because, well, you're going to have so many people because people are going to be knocked out, right? You know what? Oh, we have to turn phone sales off now too. Right? Yeah, but, like, everybody's knocked out. So you only get, like, as long as they think it. Okay. Grow tents up. We're gonna move both tents, really? I'll be honest, I still kind of prefer the old way. I actually feel like I'm in the... I feel like I agree with Sancho. Once I'm happy with this run, it's kind of... yeah. I haven't ruined it for myself. No, this is other people ruining this. Our 10 long runs will be huge though. Get in there. No, I'm not. How are we doing, Plank? Welcome in, sir. Welcome in. I've not ruined it for myself more, so it's just things have changed with the thing, and which is fair enough. I get it, but yeah, maybe I'll have to look at cartel. What do you say, Sancho? All right. go and like just package up the rest of this and never package again, I guess. And then when do I buy a graffiti? It's not even optimized. It's just they just taken everything out of it. I mean, I guess that's just optimized. Yeah, you're right. That basically is it. Yeah, in a nutshell, everything's just been removed. Cartel is 100%. That sounds like more commitment. Yeah, sounds good. I'm just going to buy myself because I feel like planting some. That's what I feel like doing. For absolutely no reason whatsoever. Okay. You, where are you? You're in this building here. Mm-hmm. Nobody around here. Mm-hmm. Da-da-da. Where is the fiend, which is Geraldine? Like, seriously. Nope. It's not Geraldine, Peter we want, isn't it? Oh, I forgot the watering can over there. Never mind. Killing time for the sake of killing time. I want to feel like this is relevant. Right, who lives here? Got one right now. It is pedophile. Pedophile. What a name. Alright, I'm gonna talk to I think at the shop. How about you? Yeah? 2 secs, folks. Okay, I'm back. Benji, here's 10 back. Take all but 1. So you can sell that 1. Okay. Now seriously, where is Peter? He's bugging me. There you are. Awkward space. Thank you. Don't mind me. How do you beat this run? Is it money earned? There's various things. So there is money earned. There is... There you go. Ian's got it. We need more people to get, not right now, so we're just gonna yeah, just go and mosey around, I guess. Can't get you yet? Can we get you yet? Nope. Westville must have been locked. Okay, we not even got Westville yet. When do I get spray cans? Spray paint. So what, I want 30 here? Only lets me get 5. Aha, that's how. I'm just going to take 32 then. I don't know where I'm supposed to spray painting, so... Whatever. Another on gas smart roof? Okay. How am I supposed to get there? Oh. You can do it from the dumpster. Okay. Does that count as it then? Okay. And this is getting me XP. Yeah, 20 per paint. Okay. Any more places to go with here? Alright, so we got Joyce in that now. Joyce is over here. Sheesh. How doing, Adam? Da, 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 da. Basically, yeah. Boo. La 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 la. No, not really. But then again, probably doing it wrong. Like, I'm making nothing. Basically, yeah. Basically. No two ways about it. It's like, well, sounds like a good deal. What's the catch? Well, I'm going to cave your head in afterwards. Okay. At least you can go out on a high, right? Yeah? Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Alright. Who else we got? We got you, Doris. I don't know where all the placing for all these people are as well, so that's another thing. Sorry, mate. Don't mind, mate. Thank you. Alright, mate. No worries. Much obliged. Thanks for business. I mean... Basically, it's like, if I don't take it, he won't beat me up. He was the smart one. What's up, Dean? How you doing, mate? Good night. Alright, no worries, mate. I'm probably heard about my reputation of beating up my customers. Any more places to tag? Oh, there's tag. Can't see shit. Tag. Do we only tag once a day or something? Okay. What can I say? I'm in a rush. Anywhere else? No? Anywhere? Literally. Why are the balls so sharp? I mean, look, I can't help their deficiency, alright? I mean, just... Okay. Like, surely, you know, surely we're doing fine now, right? No, maybe. I mean, okay, yeah, it's donkey slow, but I guess at least it's somewhat amusing. Okay, guess we got you. You are 100% correct. You are sufficiently correct. 100%. Excuse me. Thank you. I don't know, Sancho. You probably enjoy this more now because of the graffiti. I don't think. I think you'd want to do the artwork, right? What are you doing tonight, mate? Come be my artist. Oh, what a light. Okay. Wow. How rude. You took a sample from me. Bastard. I mean, yeah, true. That is true. But see, look. Planks call it out, mate. Just saying. What? Let's just get that last customer outside it. I mean, Plank's here for it. Folks are here for it. Who doesn't want Sancho to come in and show us his artistic side, right? Alright, mate. Yeah, just move out of the way. Nope. Okay. Cheers. You heard the people, Sancho. Alright. Plus, imagine how quickly we could do this, Sancho. Like, surely. Yeah, baby. It's not peer pressure, it's just, it's what you enjoy most, some memes. Oh, I don't want to be caught right now. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of XP pockets here and there. Hi, how you doing? People want to see how a real Mexican draws. Cock. I don't know where half our customers are, in all honesty. That's part of the problem. I'm like, oh, well, where's my customers now? Because I've turned off all the phone deals. I'm like, yeah. Thank you. Going everywhere. Fuck it. Spread them. That's it. Even packed it up for me. No, they're all still knocked out of cold, so I do only get one deal a day with them. I'm assuming the more product I have, the better at this point here, because, like, he didn't. Alright, I'm just gonna go sleep. I think that's the thing, and then I do it. I just did graffiti like refresh next day or something. Product sold 271. Jeez, we're hustling. Not a lot, but we're hustling. Thank you for growing very slowly. No, you don't spray over them? Okay, is it just you have to find all the different places for it? Excuse me then. No, okay. Damn these non-returning customers. I wonder what scared them off. Well, I'm hurt. Just out here trying to provide a service. Asshole. Boo. I should have put that lower. That is my own fault. Cheers now. This is rather indecent. Sign customers, whatever, just... you're all good, mate, you're all good.
Any percenters?
Welcome in, good sir, welcome in. Alright, mate, how you doing? Boo, okay, maybe we just go 90% above. I will hydrate shortly. Right, we aren't taking the biggest opportunities here. Clearly, 87% is not a big enough chance. Kinda sucks. Where's Ludwig? 96% better doctor. Better doctor told me to take the rest of these. Good lad, get some rest. Okay, what more graffiti stuff we got? Alright, go on here. Lol, even at 96, this game hates you, literally. You're not wrong. So Sancho, you're gonna join or what, mate? Agreed. Just take it easy, wicked. But why? Hey. Don't smell my shit. Let's just go and check. I doubt it, but let's go and check. Didn't think so. Look, I just don't feel like I'm selling jack. Alright, dealers. Talk to this Benji, that dealing, great, fantastic. I just want I wanted my monies. I was going to casino, weren't I? And then payphone and yada 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 yada. Like 84. Excuse me, love. You might want to cover up. Decent exposure right there. You can get done for that. I swear, 94% and they're saying no. I agree. Oh, the bloody Clippers, where are they? I think we need to I think we just need to stack more product. Should have just PGR'd some of this stuff. And then just had more. I could be wrong. But it feels like if you're offering them, let's say, 100 stack, even going down to like 300 for that much, they're more likely to say, yeah, right. What do you think, folks? Let's just get rid of these clippers and crap. We don't need them right now. Any down here on the dock to paint? Thought there would be. Middle finger fuel. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Okay, so we got the pseudo, so we don't generally care about people too much now. It's just sell, 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 sell. Basically. Just gonna try and get some deals done, then I'm gonna go and do the mixing stuff. Try and sell, should I say. Try and sell. Yeah, she's still knocked out. So is she. Mate, let me just get in your crevices. Mixing station. Good job, he's there because she's knocked out. Oh, days. Let's have a spare bud now. Ba 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 bum. I'll go with that first. I'm gonna say it's that Coke and then paracetamol. Oh, we haven't got any of those because they are not here. Hang on. The payphone in this way. We didn't have the space for them, so they're on the pallet, I guess. Yep. Called it. Oh. Oh. Done enough. For the girls cook. Alright. 4856. We've earned nothing. As expected. As expected. Do we even have the XP? I don't even think so. I honestly don't. So, wow, okay. Hey, we have got enough of that, so then it's just the money now to make. Okay. I can get behind that. So selling and graffiti. That's it. Crazy. Let's just leave you there. Grab this. Start all that cooking and then, yeah. Just sell crap. Mm-mm. Right, that's that done. You're welcome, mate. You are so welcome. Glad you enjoyed it. I guess we just sleep. Right, so we'll put that into cook. We got just on the thingy, so yeah, okay, that's fine. Still a bit of time left to go on that one, fine. We have got stuff to do still, so it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Seriously. $131, that's nothing. Like, serious. I'm selling this for chump change. I'll go back over there, check that. You. No, much appreciated. You. Would you like to buy some? Much appreciated, you too. Nope. Now, question is: do we think we can run this back after this? Actually, do better. What do people think? This was our first time trying it since bringing the graffiti stuff into it. Yay or nay, folks? You be the ones to decide. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Right, that's cooking out. Alright, only another 3 and a bit K to go. Surely that's not going to be too hard to do, right? Much obliged, good sir. Problem. There we go. Mm-hmm. Now, would you like to purchase something? Just smoking freebies, eh? You're welcome. Have some decency. Nearly didn't take that. Okay, we like Dean. Dean's a spender. Dean, near enough carrot is just there. It's not gonna be in there. Oh, it's gonna be out of work. Just doing my neighbourly duties. Yeah, you can wait as long as you want, mate. Anybody? Anybody? I didn't Pete. No. Asshole. Alrighty then. Guess guess we're just getting stiff that way. Hmm. We're only outside a police station. Never saw a thing. So you get idiot. This is the... He said no like several times. Yeah, that's you. So folks, what do we want after this? I don't think we do another after this. I think we come back to this. Because I do think we can make this better. Now that we have an idea about it. I don't think I mean... Maybe we try some hour, who knows, but I doubt it. They're both knocked out. Is there a better way to make money? It has to be through deals for this particular one. I personally think it's going to be a case of you have to, like... You have to have a stack on you. Like, now we've got, like, what, that? A shed load there. Surely... We'll leave that in there. For now. I mean, if I had my artiste, we probably could be okay right now. I think 2 people is probably optimal for this. Are you serious? Okay, doesn't matter then. Apparently not. Surely. Your sacrifice was not in vain. I mean, we only need 2 grand more. You said no to me again. I ain't gonna waste my time with you. The best person we've had to buy from us is the likes of, like, Dean. Pretty sure George is supposed to be a big buyer. But he's not home. He was Dane. Okay, okay. Keith is up this way. Nope. I guess a big part of the time save as well is knowing where the hell people are at all times. Because I don't. I guess we just sleep. And then make some deals, more deals tomorrow when everybody's awake. Nope. Fantastic. I'm not a fan of this DoorDash shit. That's for certain. Nope. He still remembers I beat the crap out of him. It's fine. Nope. Cover it up. I don't know where George works. Yeah, we're gonna run this back another time. I'm not gonna run it straight back to back. No, 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 no. George, you're a good lad. I respect you. But I need you to move, like, over here a little bit and spread them. You said no to me. You said no to me. Why? Why? Why are you doing this? Keith, my man, you're a crackhead. No, okay, not clearly enough for one. A piece. What do we got to like 200 something? Are you fucking serious? Like serious? I'm not giving you free samples, you're a cock. Yeah, I guess so. I do stand by. I mean, the graffiti can be is like memes and that, but like, I do feel the run's a little bit empty now. I don't care. You know what? You can keep it. I mean, it was better than yesterday's, but yeah, I guess a few flaws with that. A little bit more refining for sure. I mean, I'm not in the same space as him. He knows way too much about this. This just facts, hardcore facts, folks. But we'll make do. We'll make do with that. All right, we're gonna take a short break, and then we're gonna contemplate what we want to do next. All right, so we'll be back shortly after this intermediate break.